Princess Kael'thora was failing spectacularly. The Royal Academy of Valerian Excellence had never witnessed such a thing. A dragon princess, descended from the ancient bloodlines that ruled entire star systems, was struggling with subjects that other students mastered effortlessly. Mathematics, advanced physics, diplomatic protocol, strategic warfare theory. Subject after subject, her test scores plummeted into failure ranges that bordered on scandal. The Dragon Court was in crisis. Whispers circulated through the halls. Perhaps the princess lacked the intellectual capacity for her future role. Perhaps the prestigious bloodline was finally showing weakness. Perhaps she was simply lazy, unwilling to apply herself. Kael'thora wanted to burn them all. She was certain the problem wasn't her intelligence. It was that the instructors, brilliant but impatient, expected students to already possess foundational knowledge. They skipped basics, jumping immediately into complex applications. For students who'd been privately tutored since birth, this worked fine. But Kael'thora had missed crucial years of education while recovering from a childhood illness that had affected her memory formation. No one cared about excuses. The academy's headmaster finally called her to his office, his tone suggesting this would be her last chance. As Kael'thora stormed through the halls, fuming and ready to defend herself, she nearly collided with a man pushing a cleaning cart. She would have incinerated him on reflex. Her anger was that volatile, but something in his calm demeanor made her pause. "Rough day?" he asked simply, as if a dragon princess having an emotional outburst was nothing unusual. "Stay out of my way," she snarled but didn't move. The man, whose identification badge read Thomas Walsh, Custodial Services, simply nodded. "Fair enough. Though if you ever want to talk about it, I'm usually cleaning the observatory in the evenings. My son does homework there while I work." Then he went back to pushing his cart, completely unbothered by her presence. Kael'thora didn't intend to return to the observatory. But after her meeting with the headmaster, where she was given one final semester to improve or face dismissal, she found herself wandering the halls at dusk. The observatory was peaceful, quieter than she'd expected. A young human boy sat at a table with mathematical equations spread before him, clearly struggling. Thomas was cleaning the windows nearby, humming softly. "He's stuck?" Kael'thora asked, surprising herself. Thomas looked up. "Yeah, he's in 3rd grade, and fractions are killing him. I keep trying to explain, but I think I'm going too fast." He smiled ruefully. "I was a janitor before I had him. Never went to college. Sometimes I'm not sure I'm explaining things right." Kael'thora found herself sitting down across from the boy. "May I?" She started with something radical. She went backward. Instead of trying to understand fractions as abstract mathematical concepts, she used the actual materials the boy had: snacks, toys, pieces of paper. She showed him that a fraction was simply a way of describing parts of a whole thing. One cookie divided into 4 pieces. Each piece was 1/4. The boy's face lit up with understanding. Thomas watched silently, then asked, Would you be willing to tutor him sometimes? I can't pay much, but..." "I'll do it for free," Kael'thora interrupted. "But I want something in return." "What?" "Teach me how you teach him." Over the following weeks, something extraordinary happened. Thomas taught Kael'thora a completely different approach to learning. He showed her that every complex concept was built from simpler components. That struggling was not a sign of weakness, but a sign of growth. That starting from zero, from foundational basics, wasn't an admission of failure, but the path to genuine understanding. When she returned to her mathematics exam, Kael'thora approached each problem differently. Instead of panicking at complexity, she broke it down, component by component, layer by layer. She passed. Then she excelled. Her other subjects improved rapidly as she applied the same methodology. Physics became clear when she understood the foundational principles before moving to applications. Diplomatic protocol made sense when she grasped the underlying values before memorizing procedures. 3 months later, Kael'thora stood before the Academy Assembly with some of the highest test scores in the institution's history. The headmaster beamed, ready to take credit. But Kael'thora's eyes found Thomas in the back of the auditorium, still in his custodial uniform, his son sitting beside him, both beaming with genuine pride. After the ceremony, she walked directly to them. "I want to establish a program," Thora announced, "here at the Academy, for students who struggle. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they're missing foundational knowledge. I want human educators involved. Your species seems to understand something crucial, that starting from zero is not weakness. It's wisdom." Thomas smiled. "What made you figure that out?" "You did," Thora said simply. "You taught your son, and through him, you taught me. Humans don't judge people for needing to start at the beginning. You just help them build from there. That's just called good teaching," Thomas said modestly. "No, Tora replied. That's called compassion, and it's something my species desperately needs to learn." Within a year, the Academy of Valerian Excellence's most prestigious program was the Foundation Initiative, taught by Thomas Walsh and staffed by human volunteers who understood that intelligence without compassion was merely arrogance. But compassion combined with clear teaching could transform lives.